Hi everybody, Catherine St-Pierre at Physikinaction. Today, out of the Brome County News Lifestyles Health and Fitness Edition, dated August 4th, 2015, we talk about addiction. Now, if it's your first time showing up on my page, it's all about health and fitness. So whether it's exercise, whether it's stretching, whether it's nutrition, any of these things, go look. There's over 250 videos. Like, you really will have your hands full. Challenges and everything. If you subscribe every time that I post something new, you will have an alert. So a notification will pop up and tell you, Catherine, no, actually Physikinaction, has posted something new. Okay. If you find it interesting, the subject's interesting, please like it. If you have any comments or any questions, please, for God's sakes, I'm just like waiting for people to ask me a question. Just like ask me anything you want that's related to that specific video and I'll answer it. I usually answer within 48 hours because it depends if I have internet or not, but you know, whichever. If I have internet, I'll probably answer really quickly. If you find that the information is useful and you believe somebody could use it, please share. God, please. That's the reason I'm giving these suckers a rebirth, okay? It's so that people can enjoy the information, not just the people that actually read it in 2015 out of, like, I don't know, probably 10,000 papers that go out, 5,000 in this place, and then who knows who reads them, right? So it's out there. It's hashtagged. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. In this article, I choose to talk about addiction as it's very common and misunderstood. It is a problem that most everybody deals with at some point in their life. I'm not shielded by it either. Many will argue, no, not me. But in fact, seen by others, we deem you guilty. Let's clear this up with a medical definition, risks and factors, which I don't 100% agree with, but who am I anyways? And a few tips to help you out if you choose to help yourself. In addiction, you kind of have to want to do it yourself. I mean, somebody can slam you into rehab, and as soon as you get out, if you didn't really want it, you're going to fall back into it. It's not to make you upset or anything, but it's the truth. Okay? So, what is an addiction? According to Canadians Health Medi-Resource, an addiction is something that is hard to stop even though it is interfering with your life. You can be addicted to substances such as alcohol and drugs, meaning cocaine, heroin, morphine, nicotine, or to activities such as eating, gambling, shopping, video games, exercise, and sex. I'm probably guilty of a whole batch of them in there. No, just kidding. Although all experts don't agree on the exact definition of addiction. An addiction is usually present if you have an intense desire or need for a substance or activity, like, I so could use a drink right now. I'm giving you examples here. You can't stop using a substance or can't stop an activity. I need a cigarette right now. This substance or activity is the most important thing in your life. If I don't go for a run this afternoon, I'll just die. It's the drama. It's a real thing. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. You continue to use substances or participate in activities despite the harm it might be causing financially, your work, your health, your family problems. There's going to be a lot of things in there. Just a few more minutes, I'm almost done my game. You ever hear that? Just a few more minutes, just a few more, just a few more, just a few more drinks, just a few more cigarettes, just a few more minutes. Okay? You may not think you have a problem, but let's give you the most common reply I've seen so far. Me. Well, if you want to lose weight, you need to be persistent in your exercise routine. Eat tons of veggies, Drink tons of water, and don't forget the lean protein. Oh, and cut out the carbs and all the other drinks. Client, what? I will die if I can't drink my 1 or 2 glasses of wine every night. It keeps me sane. Plus, I can't commit to doing more than 2 hours of physical activity in a week. I'm just too busy. And what do you mean by cutting out all the carbs? Me. You need to cut out 75% of all bread, pasta, and potatoes. Basically, all sugary, starchy, sweet stuff. Client, well, that's everything. What else is there left to eat? See where I'm going? Actually, I wrote see where I'm going. That's messed up. I'm sorry. It's a pattern of bad and unnecessary habits and behaviors. Good news is you are perfect and can do whatever you set your mind to do. Okay, granted, it's not going to be easy breaking habits that you've been trained to do for so many years, but it's doable. Personally, I've dealt with almost every type of addiction, from eating disorders to overtraining, from smoking to drinking, but all at still manageable levels. Meaning I would replace an addiction by another addiction until I found the best or most beneficial for my health. Yes, food and exercise will always be a bit of a struggle, but my excuse is at least it's healthy. There is a classic response. Blame it on something else. Yeah, I was on target that day. But how can I change or fix the issue? First, you need to understand how it happens in the first place. There is no single cause of addiction, and it can be hard to figure out why some people become addicted and others don't. Researchers believe that there is several factors that can influence the development of addiction. Your brain, substances and activities that are associated with addiction all increase the levels of chemical messengers called dopamine in the brain. I must have done some research on this one. It's not stuff I would just blab out. Dopamine activates the pleasure and reward area of the brain, making you feel positive and good. Because these feelings are pleasurable, you want to repeat the behavior that created the feeling. Childhood experiences. Some traumatic childhood experience, meaning emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, can trigger addiction when people seek comfort or an escape from the pain of the past experience. Young adults also may have friends who use alcohol and other drugs, and peer influence can lead to experimenting with addictive substances. Mental health. Addiction is more common in people with another mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. It is thought that people with mental health issues use addictive substances or activities to help them feel better, but in fact, the opposite happens. Stress and coping with feelings. Some people may turn to substances or activities to relieve stress or help them cope with certain situations and feelings. Feelings of not belonging as a result of race, gender, ethnicity can cause people to turn to addictive substances for relief. However, there are ways that can help safeguard your efforts by having positive role models such as parents, teachers, or family and friends, having a supportive and involved family, having plans for the future, aka goals. If you have goals, it helps a lot. Being involved in sports and other activities, keeping you busy. Learning about ways to deal with your urges, wants, and needs. You have to have tools in the toolbox, right? Learning about ways to deal with your urges, wants, and needs. I just said that. Getting the proper tools to fight back. I read it before I read it. I know this was a hard subject to bring up, but know that first you need to realize that certain behavior are not beneficial to your health and life. Second, you have to take control of the situation. Third, you're not alone. An addiction is not a disease, but rather a disorder. Get that straight. It's the easy way out of having to face the real issue at hand. Get the help you need and become the best you can be. You can do it, and we can help. If you need more information, write me to physikinaction@gmail.com. Or call me for a scheduled appointment. You can just, email me and we'll figure it out. Together we can grab the bull by the horns and let you get back on top. That sounds dirty. Love you, Coach Cat. So, pretty easy article to go through. I mean, it was a little bit more researchy than I usually do. Probably because I've had quite a few clients that had addictions, and by training, by making them train, by getting them to train, I was able to kind of alleviate issues, and all of them right now are doing really well, even after 5 years, and some of them have basically gained their family and friends back, and financials, which is absolutely most rewarding thing ever. Actually, this article brought me in like 5 or 6 clients. Now that I remember, I wish I could say names. I mean, I would thank them right now for doing the hard work. They really did have to do the hard work. It's not an easy thing. And whatever your addiction is, just, you got to figure out why you're doing it. A lot of people that drink or do drugs have an issue underlying too much stress, old stuff that they just haven't dealt with, and they keep shoving it under, the pillow. No, I'll just put it there. If I don't see it, it's not a problem, but it always activates it. It's always there. You need to fix the underlying problem. And if AA example could help, and there's Al-Anon, and there's a few of these, and they're all different everywhere in the world, I suppose. But you need to speak to somebody that can help you figure out what's the best way to go about it. So if you have any issues, you can always write to me, and I will give you the best advice that I can. I mean, I've been there. I know what it is. It was always mild, and I always called it mild because I've always snapped myself back out of it, within a little while. So it's not like, people say, well, you're an alcoholic. Okay, so that's an addiction. It's a really tough one. And a lot of times, unless you go to AA, you usually kind of linger into it somehow. So write to me, write a comment, send me an email, whatever, and we'll try to get this done together. Okay? So hope it wasn't too boring and a waste of your time. So if you know anybody that's struggling with addiction, please send them this. Anybody can, anybody, a word, advice from anyone that's not your mom or your dad or your kids usually goes through much easier. So have a great day. Love you. Talk to you soon.